He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
It's too many cars.
Roses would be
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have.
You'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns. What's right? I want to have a man's coolant.
And he's like, oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light.
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West.
Internet. You know, is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke. Welcome to Auto Off Topic. How goes it, Brad?
It goes wonderful. How goes it with you?
It's pretty good. I just enjoying a Bentwater IPA here.
Excellent. I am enjoying a nice, tall, refreshing glass of boiling hot coffee.
Oh, it's good.
Yep. It's been one of those days. Needed a little pick me up to record this episode, even though I'm 3 hours behind you and it's much earlier here.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to sleep.
Right, which that I'm sure that drink will help.
Yeah.
So I am excited because I hear that not to disappoint everybody and go right off the bat with the weather, but I hear the weather's been improving out there, and that means that you have done some projects while the weather has been devolving here. So
I was really trying to avoid
I
it.
haven't done this many.
You brought it up, so here we are.
I've been planning on, like, all day long. I've been like, I'm going to bring up the weather right away because it's important this week, as I apparently think it's important every week because we always talk about it.
It was 85 degrees here today.
Oh, that's hot, actually.
It was really hot. I walked out at lunch, because went into work. I was wearing my light kind of coat. I walked out at lunch. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it's warm.
I had to walk down to the post office. I was sweating. So
we hit 98 here a couple days ago, but it's back down to the high today was 77. So it's actually nicer here. Strange.
Yeah, it'll be cooler over the weekend. But
yeah,
it
anyway,
was warming.
The good news is that means it's car season there.
It is now. Actually, it was still kind of cold last weekend when I did stuff. I didn't do much, but I uncovered the Montero and
excellent.
Drove it around. It's fine.
Beautiful.
It seems like
it's the easiest project car update ever. I
talked about the Shinetsu grease, I think.
You did.
I put it on all the door seals of that truck. It's interesting. It's still sitting on the surface. It didn't totally soak in. But, when you go to open the door after car sits, and sometimes the door seals stick, they do not.
Excellent.
And I didn't feel any air leaks as I was driving it.
So maybe it plumped them up a little?
I think so.
I'll have to pick some up.
And it was parked with the cover on it. So I didn't have any water in the truck, which was good.
That is always a bonus, especially after a long winter. Oh, there wasn't a lot of snow cover this year, right? Not a lot of snow sitting on the car.
Yeah, but a lot of rain.
Yeah, but I think what's worse in the winter there, it seems to be when the snow sits on the cover. That's when it kind of works its way through into the car.
Covers I have are waterproof.
Oh, la-di-da.
Yeah.
Mr. Fancy Andrew over there. Didn't realize that.
So they are.
Well,
plus, I clean the snow off when it does snow because you don't want it to freeze and thaw, and then it rains on the snow and it gets super heavy. But anyway, I actually had to throw that cover away because that cover ripped and only lasted 2 years. We're talking about this.
Yeah, well, covers last 6 months here, so 2 years is good. I'll take it.
I threw an air filter in it.
In the back or where it belongs?
Oh, yeah, just threw it in the back. It was weird because I don't even know why I talked about this. I realized I needed one last fall, so I was one in Rock Auto, and they didn't have the Denzos in stock for some reason. I was like, that's annoying. So then I looked at the number and Summit had them. I was like, I'll just order these. I ordered like 2. It was like ships from supplier. And then I totally forgot about it. And then like a month and a half ago, I was like, where are those air filters I ordered? And I looked them up, still on back order with Summit. I was like, that's so weird.
That's strange.
So I went back on Rock Auto. They had them back in stock. It's like, all right, I'll just order 2, keep one on the shelf. Canceled the Summit order. It's super weird.
Yeah, that's strange. Speaking of Rock Auto, before
Yeah.
I get too deep into it, so I'm working again. I think I mentioned before that I had been laid off before, and I'm working in
Several
an automotive
times.
space. Yeah, I'm working in. Thank you. I'm working in an automotive space. I'm still looking for anybody who knows anything because I'm not thrilled where I am. So we'll just say it's at a body shop facility at a car dealership, which is pretty much was my last choice, but it was also what came up. So I was working there yesterday and I overheard a conversation between 2 other employees of said body shop about a blower motor. And they were looking in the crash catalog for the part for the blower motor. And I was like, what year is this car for? And like, it's a 2000 Toyota Echo. And I was like, okay, why don't you just buy it on Rock Auto? And neither of them had ever heard of it.
Really?
It doesn't make any sense in a automotive space to have never heard of Rock Auto. So they were all upset because the part was like $294 from Toyota. And I was like, no. I was like, I guarantee it'll be significantly cheaper at Rock Auto.
Yeah.
It was $17.
This
So-
podcast is not brought to you by Rock Auto, by the way. We're just-
Yeah, it should be if they're listening, which they're not. But if they were, they should sponsor us because I do give them a lot of business. But no, I was like, I don't understand why anybody would be looking up OEM parts for a 2000 Toyota Yaris. Like Toyota probably doesn't even service that part anymore. But there were options upon options on Rock Auto, and one was $17. And they put it through. I was like, wait, I think I have a discount code. So hold on a second. And I got another 5% off of that. So
So I wonder,
I'm the hero now. But
I mean, I don't know. If you don't watch like automotive TV, that's the only time I've seen the ads is like automotive TV.
But I knew what it was before there was ever an ad on TV for it. It's just one of those things that you work in industry and you know. Neither of these people are new to the industry like this year. They've both been in industry for a long time. So it was just odd to me that they didn't know Rock Auto existed. Or any other options. Like, why were you going OEM? I mean, it's probably $60 at O'Reilly's. Like,
Yeah.
why? It just seemed odd to me. There's a lot of there's a general lack of knowledge I'm learning is part of the reason that I'm also probably still looking for work. Because it's slightly frustrating. But that was just one of the examples that I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. You don't understand how to whatever. And who am I to judge? Not everybody has the same experience, right? So who knows?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying I was surprised.
Well,
Anyway, carry on with your projects, Andrew. Now that
I mean, I got to line up and get all the snow tires off everything. So I'm going to try to figure that out this weekend. Because it's going to cool off and I don't want to do it when it's super hot tomorrow.
right.
And
Plus tomorrow's Friday. The weekend's the weekend. So
I uncovered the G20 and I put the front strut tower on that I ordered from Japan and it fit. So I was like, all right, cool.
excellent. Always a bonus. I noticed you were doing some other stuff to that car, or maybe just cleaning it, wiping it down. I thought you did something else under the hood of that car while you were in there. Maybe not.
I vacuumed out the remainder of the chipmunk nest that, even though I had like 3 dryer sheets stuffed in there, they do not care. They're like, oh,
Were
you
there
gave us
less,
a
though?
cozy, yeah, a little bit less. You gave us
Yeah.
a cozy blanket. Thank you.
That smells nice.
Yeah.
Springtime fresh blanket. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, they didn't ruin anything, so that's good.
Yeah, there was less like helicopter things, one of those maple copters. I don't know what you call them.
Seed pods? Like
Yeah.
little seed pods?
The things that you drop them and they'll spin.
Yeah.
Call them
Yeah.
helicopters. There was less of those. But then I was under the hood of the Galant and inside the garage, and there was one on top of the battery. Just one. I was like, cool. And then
Just one errant helicopter?
yeah, but then I had a picture of it. I left the cat in the garage with me, and she was going crazy running around the garage. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's a rodent in there.
So she probably could smell it.
Yeah,
Knew it was there somewhere.
she was all over everything.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me because I'm under the hood. I thought the hood was gonna fall. I look at she's crawled up the hood.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, thanks.
Well, we have a bad history with white Mitsubishis and gray cats here at the Auto Off Topic podcast. So thankfully, the cat didn't scare you enough while the car was running and your foot was in the clutch to drive it into a wall. So at least you had that going for you.
No, but I was like bent over in the engine compartment. She's like crawling underneath me. Like, go away.
Yeah. Well, hey, you let her in a new place for the first time. That's what's going to happen. So you just need a little wrenching help. It's fine. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Well, so what was the purpose of being in the garage for that car, Andrew?
I had to fix the connector on the coolant temp sensor. It was just spade connectors. It was kind of loose, and I found a while back a company was selling the pigtail with the right connector on it, so I was swapping I was cutting off those spade connectors and connecting the pigtail connector with the right connector to it.
Right. And you used the new solder inside shrink wrap connectors, right?
Yeah, those work pretty good.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I've had good luck with them, and I've heard people say they haven't had good luck with them. What did you use? So what we're talking about, is your brand like Spooby or something like that?
Oh, I don't know what brand it is. It's whatever Amazon sold me.
Yeah, it's something like Spooby or something. It's a weird name. Spooby.
But when you look them up, there's 5 different things showing the same case with a different label on it.
I'm all the same, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So now, what did you use
Heat gun.
Okay, that's what I use too. People have been saying that they have a hard time melting the solder and not destroying the connector, and I haven't had that experience at all.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I've enjoyed them.
Used them several
They're
times.
like a mess. Yeah, they're like a mess-free way of doing wire connecting. Like, there's no crimping. There's no. I feel like you can't make a mistake while using them.
Well,
it's all contained.
You have to be careful because the 2 wires do need to stay in the middle, and sometimes when you're, like you bump the wire as you're grabbing the heat gun, and now the 2 wires are separated. I almost shrunk it like that. I started and then realized that the wires were not touching.
Yeah, I can see that as a problem, but I haven't had that problem either. So,
well, watch out for that problem because you might do it.
I will. I was just curious what you used that you had good luck with because I used a heat gun and I didn't have any issues. And like I said, I've heard others have had issues. Maybe they're using too much heat. Maybe they have like an open flame or something.
I don't know. I kind of melt. I get one side. I'm on one side of it in the center. It's kind of melting. And then I quickly move to the other side, and then it's melting, and you can see the solder flow out, and I just stop.
Yeah, it's almost like welding a panel. You wouldn't want to go right across. You want to go left to right to meet in the center, so you have a nice cool.
Well, it's not
cool weld.
Unlike soldering with a soldering iron, where once it heats up and the solder wicks into the wire, you're done.
You're done. Yeah. Yeah. Now, when I use those, I still cover them with a heat shrink afterwards. Did you or not?
I didn't. I cover them up with conduit.
Okay, conduit's probably fine too. So
yeah, you can use heat shrink because I'm always worried that I am going to melt through the plastic and then it'll be open, but I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I usually use the heat shrink just to. I think it makes like a finished look. It looks like somebody who knew what they were doing did it, and not me. So. Plus, if I do make a mistake, you can't see it behind there. So, be looking for it forever.
Well, you can see it was actually where I had already patched. I had taken, for some reason, that connector was missing when I got the car, and I had another harness, and I had cut it off. And I used at the time, was uninsulated, crimped them, soldered them, heat shrunk them, but over time, that original connector that was on there had failed, and I had replaced it with spade connectors because I couldn't find another connector, and then I finally found the right connector that goes on there because it locks in place. And I think it's part of my overheating issue is that it's coming loose and not giving a good connection.
Okay.
Because I was playing with it with the data logger before I put the car away, and all of a sudden it read the correct temp. So I hope that helps because it's still very
Fingers
annoying.
crossed.
Because I would like to drive that car more, but it's annoying when the idle is super high because it thinks it's really hot.
Right. Well, it's also a good car. Now that Marco is 3, that's a good family event car.
Yeah, he hasn't ridden in it yet because the car's been annoying me.
Right. But that would be a good family event car to take him out in and not just use the truck.
Yeah.
There's
Although
probably
that's
more
his
space
favorite.
than in the G20. Yeah, well, maybe it won't be once he rides in the Galant. Who knows?
So anyway, I mean, that's really all I've done. I haven't touched much of anything else. I got to do a bunch of fluid changes on things. It's springtime all of a sudden, so
Yeah, I haven't done anything either. We had a big project here with the stone wall that surrounds the house. People who are not familiar with Phoenix, most of the neighborhoods are just your entire property line is outlined with a stone wall, usually 6 or 8 feet high. And we had we paid somebody to do the first portion because it was beyond probably not our skill, but beyond our desire. So we had a wall that was the back wall of our house, and it left like an alley in between our yard and the neighbor's yard that you could only access from the front yard. And it was kind of like a wasted space because at the end of the alley on the sidewalk, there was a fire hydrant. So I couldn't cut a gate in and park a car there. So we actually moved the wall from the back of the house to the front of the house. So the alley is accessible now from the backyard. So now we have I think it's like a 30 by 11 alley next to the house that we're going to buy a new shed to put in so that when I build my garage in the back, it's going to go where our current falling apart shed is. And we'll have a nice new shed next to the house so I can put all the stuff that I don't want in a garage in a shed and have it not be in the way. So it just made sense to take a non-usable space and make it usable for us. But that's been the project around here. There hasn't been any car projects. I did get to play with a new tool doing that, though. Andrew, have you ever painted anything with a Wagner power painter?
no. I mean, it's a paint gun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super cool. You should buy one for doing paint things because takes 10 seconds to paint something. It's not hard at all. It was literally enjoyable. I hate painting. I hate painting walls. I hate doing any of that stuff. But it was like spray painting a model car. It worked so well, and it covers so evenly and so quickly. And I just want to go paint a bunch of things now. I'm ready for a career change. I'm ready to be a house painter and just only use a Wagner power painter because it was super fun. So highly recommended. But we had to paint the wall to match the old wall because there's some sections of new wall had to be put in. So it's quite enjoyable, the Wagner power painter. I'm not 100% clear on how it works because there's no super loud compressor, but it works. So I can't wait to go paint something else with it. I'm ready to paint a car with it. We'll see what happens. Not sure how that would work, but it's worth a shot. So I would.
I think people do Plastidip with it.
Do they?
Yeah, because it's Plastidip is thick like house paint. So
yeah, I guess it would probably work. I mean, it lays out a pretty even coat, and it doesn't glob at all and run. So I could see that working. I'm not at the point where I want to Plastidip anything, but that would make sense, I think. I mean, I've seen people thin out house paint and paint cars with it. I'm not going to do that, but
okay.
I'm not going to do that. But anyway, it was neat to pick up a spray gun and use it like a spray gun, like painting an actual car and paint the house wall. And it was that all day labor of rollers and brushes, and it just totally transforms that whole project. So it's loosely car related because of the garage connection. So I figured I'd update. So it's kind of a car project. And also it's the reason I didn't work on any cars in the past week since we last recorded, because I've been doing house stuff, which is, this is none of this old house podcast, but hey, there we go. It's one of those unfortunate realities of life. So anyway, yeah, no car updates here, Andrew. And for that, I apologize. I have failed the podcast.
Hey, I went months without them. So
That's true. Moving on to the wide world of sports. NASCAR on dirt. Did you watch?
I did watch.
It was highly entertaining.
I enjoyed it.
Very much so.
I don't care about the haters. I like it.
Yep, 100%. I think that the people who hate it are people who should just stop and realize that they have 34 other paved ovals all year. So it's fine.
Maybe they should take Easter weekend off, because that's probably a good weekend to take off. But other than that, it's a good event.
Yep. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's weird there was no Xfinity race there. They did a truck race and no Xfinity race.
Yeah, maybe the dirt couldn't handle
strange.
it. I don't know.
They had a truck, but no Xfinity.
Yeah, maybe the dirt couldn't handle it. A third race.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Race a truck.
Because they did like heats for qualifying, and then the truck race was like a snore fest because it was just Logano up front.
Yeah, I watched the truck race, and I kind of decided I didn't care about first place, and whoever finished second was who I really cared for.
Yeah,
because it's almost unfair. It's like if you think of
the Cup guys shouldn't be allowed to race.
Yeah, you think of NASCAR like baseball. You'd have major leagues, you have minor leagues, and you have AAA.
Right.
So I feel like the trucks would be like AAA, and it would be like a major league slugger, like the former Cup champ, the former MVP player of the year, going down and playing.
Tom Brady playing high school football,
maybe college, but yes, exactly.
Yeah. Just slamming kids like with passes in Pop Warner, just like
it seems a little unfair that the former champion of the Cup Series went down 2 levels to race a truck. I mean, I do get the reasoning for it. They want to get practice on dirt for the big race.
Yeah, because he's not a dirt guy, I guess.
Apparently, he's not a dirt guy, but he obviously is a talented driver, and there was no contest. He was just out front all day.
I think he had a fast truck too. It was like maybe
for sure.
Partially that. Like, I don't know.
Also, he's a Cup driver, so he has the most money for the best equipment. So, I mean, there were other Cup drivers that participated, so it wasn't like he was alone and they didn't do as good as he did. But it was still like it was a bit much. So, I was not upset to see him crash out of the Cup event because I didn't want to see him take both.
Yeah.
And he did not. I was also not upset to see our least favorite driver get out of the Cup event as well. And I'm not sure exactly what went down yet between him and Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Kyle Larson and Ryan Preece. And they had a dust up earlier in the event. And Ryan Preece literally got the radio and said that he was going to take him out. And then, lo and behold, later on, he hit him and put him in the wall. And he was like, I don't know what happened. His car got next to me and I got loose. Which is pretty sus given the earlier statements, I think.
Well, Priest was like gesturing out the window.
Also that,
yes. Were you watching when they're like, Tony, what's he saying? What do you think he's saying?
Yeah, he was like, say hi to your mother for me or something like that.
He's like, oh, he's thanking his mom for that nice card she sent for Easter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not what we saw. But so it's quite sus. But NASCAR has a rule that if they can't prove it was done on purpose, they can't punish you for it. So him saying he was going to do it and then it happening, but then him saying, "Oh, I don't know what happened. My car just got loose," gets him off scot-free. It seems, which is also wild. But I watched the replay a bunch of times, and it almost looks like Kyle may have also turned into him. There may have been a mutual turning into of that turned into a crash that didn't take out Ryan Preece, but did take out Kyle Larson, which is wonderful.
And
we don't want to see Kyle Larson.
I mean, overall, the Fox coverage was garbage.
The entire season this year, the Fox coverage has been garbage.
But they missed, like, I get it, the spins happen fast, but like, I'm like, are you going to show a replay of it? Like, side-by-side replay?
Yeah.
Nope, just keep on going. Like, okay.
Never saw it. There were a couple of neat, like, full 360 spins
Yeah.
and lost no positions. And a couple of them they described as announcers and didn't show.
They're like, oh, car's spinning. And I was like, it's like, okay, here we're on 5th and 6th place.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
There was some really good racing, though. There was
though.
Side by side. It was a really good race. I don't know how anybody could not have enjoyed watching it. I know it's different than normal, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe the traditional NASCAR fan is not the most open-minded person and doesn't want to see something that they're not used to seeing. But I thought it was super entertaining, lots of good competition. I wasn't upset to see Christopher Bell win the race. He is a dirt driver, but he put on a good show. He did lead a lot of laps, but it also wasn't like a guarantee that he was going to win the race the whole time. So
the cars move around, they get sideways.
Yep,
people are passing.
Well, the cool thing is too is that different lanes of the track have different grip levels. So when you get the guy on the bottom of the track, down by the apron, the car is, it's like grip driving around the corner. It's maybe a little bit loose in the back, but not much at all. And the guys that are up near the top of the track are full on like D1 Grand Prix drift event. Like the cars are full sideways, opposite lock to keep up with the guys that are grip driving in the bottom of the track. And it was super cool to see. Like, I don't know. It's the strategy was more obviously visible.
Well,
the non-competitive pit stops were weird. I don't understand that.
I never heard of the running the cushion.
So the dirt part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cushion is where all of the loose dirt gathers at the top
by the wall, and you're just like running.
Right.
So basically, the car kind of stops moving towards the wall.
Yeah, they were saying you could ride the cushion like confidently and keep yourself off the wall. But if you went too far and stepped over the cushion, then the car would immediately stop being sideways, straighten out, and hit the wall.
Yeah.
Because basically what it is, when you're riding on the cushion, you keep your two front wheels on the hard packed dirt and the rear wheels are in the cushion. And that's why they're sliding so much up there. But once you get those front wheels in the cushion, there's no more grip and you're going to slap the wall sideways, which happened quite a bit to a lot of good drivers too.
Yeah. So. And then it was interesting to see, more so than last year, the rubber buildup was really wide on the corners.
Yeah, people were using more of the track. I mean, that's the other thing too. Like Bristol is notoriously a crash fest. It's a tiny little track. It's a half-mile oval. And with the dirt, there were times where they were 4 wide. You don't get 4 wide at Bristol in pavement. And if you do, somebody's in the wall. So it was really cool to see the variety of things that were happening there. And another neat thing they did this year was last year they had a lot of trouble with dirt clogging the radiators. So they redesigned the way the grills worked to not clog with dirt. And they had a tearaway on the front that was Velcroed. So you could tear it off and put a new Velcro one on if you needed to, which also was kind of cool, I thought. But no, it was a cool race. I enjoyed it. I wish they'd do it twice a year, Put dirt somewhere else.
I think they should go to an actual
dirt
track.
super speedway. Yeah.
No, I think they should go to an actual dirt track.
Yeah, I think the only reason they haven't done that is because any actual dirt tracks don't have the capacity for a cup crowd.
I don't care. That was my thing. We talked about this on a prior episode. They need to pick a local track and just grace it with NASCAR's presence, and then just like all the local patrons that always go, they get their tickets.
Yeah, and I don't think, and thinking about it, like what I just said, like they don't have the capacity or the stands. It probably would cost them less to build stands than just to bring dirt to Bristol.
Bristol was barely full.
Yeah.
But I think people were talking that's because it was on Easter Sunday.
It was Easter weekend. Yeah. I think it's the first race this year it didn't sell out.
Yeah.
And I think that's because it was Easter Sunday. And again,
Tennessee,
we're talking
and it's
about
an Easter,
traditional NASCAR fans that aren't open to change are also probably very.
Most people, even if you don't go to church every Sunday, you would probably go to church Easter Sunday. So even if you're a church going person, like
but a
Easter
church
Sunday
person's
is the
not going
big,
to skip.
yeah.
So,
that's the big one.
Anyway, it is the big one. It is the big one.
So yeah, it was kind of if it just shifted a weekend before, after, or even people were saying even do it a little bit later if you're going to do it in Bristol, because then it's less likely to rain.
Right.
Because I guess that was the problem on Friday. It was raining a lot.
Yeah, it did rain last year too, and 2 years ago actually got rain delayed till Monday.
Right.
So it's been raining the past 3 years of it. So, but yeah, I seem to remember that Easter weekend used to always be an off weekend for NASCAR. I don't think they used to do racing on Easter. So
no.
It is strange. It is strange to me. So I do think it's also suspicious that the guy's name Cody something.
Cody Ware?
Cody Ware. They said he was absent from the weekend due to personal reasons. Did you hear that? And then personal reasons turned out to be he tried to kill somebody.
Well, I mean, maybe they didn't know all the facts yet. Wasn't it rained on Monday or something?
Yeah, but
not during the race. So yeah, that's what you got to say,
I guess. But he was arrested for felony assault. Now, like, he had some personal stuff this weekend. I mean, yeah, that's pretty personal. So, but thankfully NASCAR did the right thing now, and they've suspended him indefinitely. He's not allowed back. So that's a good thing. You definitely can't have that kind of person participating in the event still. You know, of course, remains to be seen. I guess it's innocent until proven guilty, right?
That's right.
Sure. He's guilty. Anyway, moving on. More motorsports news. Sad day today.
Yeah.
Actually happened either yesterday or today. I think it was actually happened this morning. Craig Breen, team Hyundai driver for WRC, was actually killed this morning in practice for Croatia. So that's unfortunate news from the world of motorsport. He was pretty young. I think he was born in 1990. So what's that make him, 33?
He was 33.
Yeah. He's, I don't know. It's not common anymore to talk about a rally car driver dying in competition, but unfortunately, or dying in a rally car, I guess, but unfortunately it did happen today. His co-driver was okay. They haven't really said anything that happened yet. I'm sure it's under investigation, but I guess he was practicing for Croatia and hit a tree on his side of the car and did not survive. So I'm sure there'll be a wait over the Croatia rally because that's this weekend or next weekend. So there'll be some memorial event to him, I'm sure, but super sad. He's driven for Ford in the past, Peugeot, Citroen. Like I said, he was driving for Hyundai this past, most recently. So it's always a sad day when a race car driver dies in competition or practice or in a race car or at all. But it's even more sad when it's a young up-and-comer. So sad days. I don't know how to come out of that, Andrew. This is on you. What's next?
Well, on that note,
yeah, let's lighten the mood a little bit, Andrew.
There was buzz about. We'll continue talking about rally a little bit, about Rally Chattanooga.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
These people want to bring a WRC rally to the United States.
Yes.
There hasn't been one here since the 80s in Washington.
1989, Mount Olympus was the last WRC event in the United States. I only just read that today, so I have that in my brain. I don't know much more beyond that. But
I'll believe it when I'm standing stage side watching it.
I guarantee you, if it's there, I will be there. I guess what's happening is they're talking about doing 2 exhibition events in that area to see how it fares. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean they're going to bring in WRC cars and people? Or does that mean they're going to run like a local rally through that area?
I saw on social media ARA people doing testing there. Like the topper, the higher level teams doing it.
Okay.
I don't know anything much about it. I haven't paid much. I was like, I'm not going to put much weight into this or pay much attention to it until it actually is happening, because I've been promised these things so many times. It's not worth my effort of looking into it.
I'm actually surprised that we're seeing this before we see like a Formula One street race.
What are you talking about? They're doing it in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I'm surprised because of the popularity of Formula One in this country because of that TV show, and WRC is still mostly unknown in this country. So, but you're right. It is happening in Vegas, and I forgot. So never mind.
So it's like at least 2 F1 races here.
Well, yeah, I know
they're trying to bring more.
Dakota
so
one. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Brad's a big dummy who doesn't follow F1.
I don't really either because it's. I don't.
All right, fine. I'm just a big dummy, Andrew. But... It's fine. Anyway, no, I'm super into the thought of it happening. And again, like you said, I will not be booking trips until it's a little more in the actual happening when money has been spent and cars are here. That would be excellent.
You know what is happening?
So,
Prescott Rally. Finally.
I'm also on the I'll believe that when it happens.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, listen, it's been said that it's going to happen, but nothing's possible until it's possible, right? Like it's still early enough that things could happen.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be an issue. The people who are in charge of running it are pretty solid on trying to get it to happen.
I was thinking about booking a flight to come see it.
Hey, you should book a flight anyway, and if it doesn't happen, we'll figure it out.
I know, I'll just come hang out for the weekend. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll tell you what happened the last time the event was supposed to happen was 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And the day that it didn't happen, obviously it was known, probably 6 months in advance that it wasn't happening. And then the day it was supposed to happen, a bunch of local rally community people got together and did a I won't call it high speed. We'll call it a
cruise,
spirited drive. A spirited drive through the course.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if you remember or not. I was on my way to it with our friend Josh in his Galant VR4, and we ran into some mechanical problems, so we didn't make it.
As one does.
As one does, yes. But so I'm sure that if you're here and the event doesn't happen, we'll be able to be invited along to the I don't know what you call it. What do you call it when something's the constellation event? So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I think it's going to happen this year. It's supposedly in September, October. I forget now.
I thought it was the first week of October.
I think you're right. I think it's October because there's a bunch of stuff happening in October, like 3 weekends in a row.
I should probably double check before I book a plane ticket.
Yeah, it's definitely the first week in October because the first week of October is that, and then there's the Japanese car event in Williams, and then there's Radwood. So those are 3 weekends in a row in October. So October is going to be wonderful, and I can't wait for it to be here.
Is that Radwood announced?
Yes. Yep.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yep. It's announced. It's on the page. The date is there. There's no location given.
Huh.
So
interesting.
I have some theories and some thoughts of where it's going to be, based on the fact that Haggerty owns Radwood now, and every time that anytime there's an event here, Haggerty shares a booth space with Radford Racing School. So my assumption is that Radwood will be at Radford Racing School, just based on that. So that's just my educated guess. There's no official word there, but it would make sense because it's a big venue with a racetrack at it for.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the Williams show. I would like to try to get to that.
Yeah, if you came out here and did a week, you could bookend it with the rally and the Williams show. So I'm pretty sure. I have to the order of events because it's all 3 events in a row. I think it's rally first, Williams, then Radwood, but it could be It could be Rally Radwood Williams. I'm not 100% positive. I'll have to double check.
I'll see.
But anyway, anybody who wants to come visit good old Brad here in Phoenix, October would be an excellent time to do it because there's tons of cool events to go to. So come on out and hang out.
All right. Well, on that note, it is time for another edition of Craig, Don't Tell Me. Our
Yes, it is. We're going to try to do this a little bit more. Definitely not every week, but maybe once every other month or so.
Yeah.
Because people seem to like it. I seem to like it. It's fun. I get to show off my Rain Man car knowledge, which is, I don't know if it's a show off or...
I don't know.
I get to use it. I get to use it for good.
Yeah.
It's not showing off. It's embarrassing, actually. Let's not play the game, Andrew.
Okay.
I'm out. All right. You want to start?
Yeah, I got one. All right. I'll give you one to warm up because So basically, the problem I was having picking these, people are not writing long descriptions anymore. These people are getting lazy. They're ruining our game.
Okay. At least they're using Craigslist again.
There's a lot of cool stuff on Craigslist. The descriptions are not great for the game, but there's a lot of cool stuff on Craigslist that I am putting aside for, let's plug it, Parked on the Block.
Yes, for sure. If you have not followed Parked on the Block yet, please go there because we're putting some heavy effort into that and we want to grow it and grow it and grow it. So,
all right.
Please join, send us listings, comment. I think that's one of the biggest things we're trying to get is a commenter base going there and kind of give people a reason to come back. So anyway, moving on.
All right. I think you might get this one.
Perfect.
I know eventually you'll get it, but let's see. Super rare long bed, all-wheel drive, 5-speed. This blank has the 1-year Chevy V6, which runs great.
It's a Jeep Comanche.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Too easy.
Sorry. Yeah.
I guess the year?
The year is 80. Is it 85 or 87?
86.
Ah, damn it. I was ready to All right. I didn't think it was 86. I thought it was 87. Because those came with a Renault 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
A AMC 6-cylinder.
Oh my God.
Or the GM V6 one time. What's
like
that?
A 4.3?
That's the one you have is the 4.3. The one that you're bringing up there. The one you're on the GM
so
V6
like
the 4.3.
So the 4.3 V6.
Yes.
So it's like an S10, but a Jeep.
Yes. So 86 makes sense because Chrysler bought AMC in 1987 or late 86. So AMC made a deal with GM to put GM V6s in their Jeeps that 1 year. And then Chrysler bought them and was like, hell no, we're not selling something with a GM V6 in it. And they got rid of it and went back to the inline six.
Weird. So
yeah.
Weird.
Yep. If you remember, my Comanche had an inline six. So, and mine was also a long bed 4-wheel drive. Super rare. Big ton, I think they called it. But, yeah,
this one's pretty clean from Florida. It's got a rust on it. It's for sale from Vermont.
Yeah. If I were to buy a 4x4 pickup, other than Mighty Max, like Comanche is up there. I had one for a little while and I got rid of it to get the ill-fated Galant VR4. So it was, maybe you should have held on to it. Anyway. All right. You ready for one?
Yeah. Give me one.
All right. Very few cars embody the spirit of uniqueness as does the blank. It's in the looks, the name, the versatility, the capability, and the overall feeling behind the wheel of this beefcake. The shining paint is set off by a massive lift, oversized bull bar, and shining centerline wheels. On the inside, its unique upholstery gives a distinctive and classic feel. This particular unit is impressive in stature, runs and drives down the road quite nicely for a vehicle with its modifications, and is ready to take you north, south, east, west, and everywhere in between. Specs are 113,000 miles or 182,000 kilometers, 2.5 liter turbo diesel engine, automatic transmission. 4-wheel drive with high and low ranges with automatic locking hubs. White paint, color code W09. Chrome front bull bar. Factory option fog lamps. Chrome side step and chrome rear bumper. Chrome rear ladder. Momo Course grain steering wheel. Power steering, air conditioning, dual zone AC and heat, dual 12-volt batteries, front and rear mirrors, power door locks, power windows, defrost, clock, bucket seats. Center seats are a bench with a folding jump seat. Folding rear bench folds flat for additional storage, or could fold flat to be turned into a sleeping platform. Seats 8. Rain guards, wind deflectors, tinted rear windows, oversized fender flares, sliding door extender, must close door with 2 hands, original bottle jack and toolkit. Everything else is upgrades, it looks like.
It's a Hi-Ace van, 4-wheel drive?
It is not.
Okay. It's a Delica?
It is a Delica, yes.
That's what I should have went with. That was my gut.
Yeah, I left out stuff. I said 2.5 liter turbo diesel. I left out the 4D56 because that would have made it very easy. And when I said it's white paint, color code W09, it says Summit white paint, and that also would have given it away. This is a very cool van. In the current van market, it seems like a good price too for a van of its design. It's got like a 4 or 5 inch lift and big old fender flares, and it's $17,000. It's super cool. I'm pretty into it, so I'm going to send it to you so you can look at it, and the listeners can just picture a big white lifted Delica van.
All right.
So you started with an easy one. I started with an easy one. Now let's get each other here.
Okay. 345 auto, 3/4 ton, 8-lug Dana, runs and drives good, 95% rust free. Nice
Dodge
patina,
Ram
original
W200.
condition. What?
Dodge Ram W200.
Nope.
345 at the engine size?
Yep.
And that's the only information we got.
It's a 345 auto, 3/4 ton, 8-lug Dana.
Yeah, the Dana makes me think that it's Chrysler. I don't know. 345, I think it's also Chrysler. Or it could be a weird truck. Like, maybe it's not a Chrysler. That could be a weird, like... Okay, so it's a early 70s international pickup truck.
Yes. It's a 73 1210, I think is the model.
Okay.
I didn't want to say
model
1210.
names of those.
Huh?
I don't know the model names of the internationals. I thought they just called them pickup truck, but they probably had like numerical designations.
Yeah, this one's a 1210. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's green.
I think 345 is the actual international V8.
Yeah, it's got some cool patina. It's dark green with the white stripe in the middle. So green, white, cool. Green. Doesn't look too rusty.
Yeah, I'm into that. They have a really classic look. They just are like, they lack design, and by lacking design, they look cool.
Yeah, it's like if you asked a kid to draw a truck.
Yeah,
this is what they draw.
It's very simple. The like late '60s Dodges have the same kind of like no design, but because of that, it's cool. So, all right. Sorry, Andrew. That was not terribly hard either. I'm embarrassed I put Dodge first because 345 I don't think was a Dodge engine, but I thought there was a similar number to that would have been a Power Wagon, but I don't know what the number is. Okay. All right, ready?
Yeah.
This is a blank. Clean Carfax. Amazing find. This blank is finished in metallic gray with factory alloy wheels. Tan cloth seats are clean and in very good condition. Considering this classic's age, it is in very good condition. Recently serviced and starts up every time reliably. The reliable fuel-injected 2.3 liter and 4-speed manual are an amazing combination and will run for years. We don't see these often, so come on by and check it out today. 2.3 liter, single overhead cam, 8 valve, inline 4. Mileage, unknown. Fuel, gasoline. Transmission, it says automatic, but the description said 4-speed. It is a 4-speed. Drivetrain, big clue, rear wheel drive. That's your info.
Wow.
2.3 liter, 4-cylinder, 4-speed, rear wheel drive, single overhead cam.
It's a big 4-cylinder.
Yep.
2.3 liter. 4-speed. Let's see. Is it, man, what would have a 2.3 4-speed? Would it be, and it, did you say it was fuel injected?
I did, yes.
Wow. It's
2.3
fuel injected, but
fuel
has a
injected
4-speed.
4-speed.
Is it a Toyota Starlet?
It is not a Toyota Starlet.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, every American Starlet was carbureted with, I think, a 4AC engine or a 3AC or something like that. I think they were all carbureted, though.
So it's a rear-wheel drive, small hatchback, I'm thinking. But it's...
I'll give you the first clue. It is not a hatchback.
Oh, really? But fuel-injected 4-speed.
Dark gray over tan cloth. Not that that matters. Just throwing conversation out there.
Dark gray over tan cloth. Dark gray over tan cloth. Is it a... Could you get a 4-ride Fox body with a 2.3 and a 4-speed and fuel injection?
I don't. It's not that.
Huh.
I know you could get a 2.3. I know you could get a carbureted. I'm not clear on a 4-speed. That would probably be a pretty good guess. I don't think it's a fuel injected version of that with a 4-speed.
No, so it's not. It's not a Lima engine.
Okay, it is not a hatchback, and it is not a 2.3 Ford engine.
Oh, weird.
I'm gonna put like another minute and a half on the clock here.
All right. Is it Japanese?
Ooh, we're just going full on.
Well, I'm just gonna. Yeah.
It is not Japanese.
Okay.
No.
All right. All right. I'm thinking 2.3 fuel injected. Is it a? I guess is it a Volvo 142?
It is not a Volvo 142.
Interesting. I don't think it would be a Volvo 240 either.
Why is that, sir?
Because I thought they all had 5 speeds, but there were 4s with electric overdrive.
See, I think I'll give it to you because you just backed into it.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, you're gonna be so mad. My last clue was gonna be like, you're gonna be super mad because you used to own this car. Yes, it is a 1985 Volvo 240 GL sedan manual.
Yeah. See, it's like my mind went there because I'm like, if it's a 2.3 but it's fuel injected, I'm like, that has to be European because nobody else was really doing that.
Other than Ford, which you got to, which is good, but it was wrong.
All right.
So yes, it is a 1985 Volvo 240 GL sedan manual, 4-speed with electronic overdrive, which is a switch on the shifter. It is available here in Phoenix. And if I were in a happy job situation, I'd probably be calling this dealership tomorrow because it's $2,900.
Whoa.
And it's, other than having bad paint, it's a super clean interior and super clean underhood. And it's obviously a Phoenix car, so it's super clean in general. But I'll also send you this one because it's super nice and I love it. If it was a 2-door, I'd be telling you to send me $3,000 and I'll go buy it tomorrow. But it's not. So, yep, I dig it. It's the factory alloys. It's 85, so it has the quad rectangle headlights.
All right.
Is a good car. All right. Well, I'm glad you got it because you used to own one. Yours is an automatic, but it was also a 2.3 liter fuel injected rear wheel drive sedan. And I was like, man, that should be a dead giveaway. But sometimes our brain just doesn't go there, I guess. That's one that I bet there were some people who I know that listen were going, God damn it, Andrew, it's a Volvo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's when you hear stuff out of context, it is hard.
It does.
So I picture it sometimes.
Difficult. Yeah.
Maybe this one's like kind of obscure, but I don't know. We'll go for it. It's best I can do is factory headers, electric overdrive, purchased in 92, owned for 30 years, repaired frame and floors in 92, repaired other rust with new metal door skins, replacement eyebrows, quotations around headlamps, painted original Carnival red color code 39. Let's see. Switched wire wheels to mini lights.
Oh, okay.
Replaced seats and interior by Her Majesty's Service, formerly in Swansea. Rebuilt radiator by Brit Bits and Rye.
Okay.
Fun cars always start, run strong.
Eyebrows.
Needs cosmetic refresh.
What car has eyebrows?
Garage kept, always driven, never driven in winter or the rain.
Factory headers?
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird... It's obviously British, based on who worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously red, based on you saying it is. Did you say what transmission it was or not? Doesn't matter. It's probably 4-speed.
Yeah, it's electric overdrive. It's 4-speed.
Eyebrows, though. Eyebrows. My brain thought of something when you first said it, but I can't quite get there to what it is. I've heard that term on something car-related before. Repaired frame and floors. So it's still British.
Yeah.
It had wires.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes out a lot of cars. Does a bee have eyebrows? I mean, it has a little pocket around the lights. I don't know if they call them eyebrows. But that would be a factory car with factory wires. Wouldn't have factory headers, though. Unless that's a misinformation.
There's no engine picture, so I don't even know what engine is in this. I assume it's a 4-cylinder.
It's got to be earlier if it does have factory headers because it's not a pre-cat car.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's a B. I'm going to say it's an MGA.
Nope.
Eyebrows is getting me, and I should have thought of that before I said MGA. Oh, eyebrows alludes to something over the headlights. And this is a 4-cylinder car?
It is.
Eyebrows.
Yep.
Eyebrows. It's making me angry.
Eyebrows.
Well, I first thought of something like a pop-up headlight car at first, because that's like an eyebrow would be something I would think that would be called that, but it's not obviously that. But it's going to predate that. If it has, I can't think of anything that would have had wire wheels along with pop-up headlights.
No.
Except like a modified Miata. So it's not going to be that. And then Carnival Red is not a color that I know from any brand. I never heard that color. I mean, I've heard maybe Carnival Red as a color, but it doesn't like, it's not like if I had said, the white color from Mitsubishi, it'd have been like, oh yeah, absolutely, it's Mitsubishi. But I don't know. British with wires.
What are other British sports cars?
I'm working on it. Eyebrows. Are you kidding me? Well, I can't think of a car that would have had wires and hideaway headlights. It would have been Lotus Elan, but it's not a Lotus Elan.
No, it's not.
But that's a car with wire wheels and hideaway headlights.
Okay.
My brain just got there. That's unimportant right now. Could still be a Lotus. No, it's got wires. No,
not a Lotus.
Would have had wires. I guess it could be a Triumph as well, but
not a Triumph.
I don't think anything Triumph would have eyebrows. Man, I'm gonna be so mad when I find this out too, because that word eyebrows, it's bothered me because I know what it is and I can't put it there. It could be a TVR, but it's a 4-cylinder, so it's not a TVR. British sports cars. I don't want to give up. Is it convertible?
Yes. It is a convertible.
It has it's not a Jaguar.
No, it has a really cringy interior with black. It's black with red piping. It doesn't work for me on a red car. It's too like 90s hot rod.
So piping, I go to like a TR3 era. So like a late 50s into early 60s kind of car. Although it's modified, obviously, it doesn't matter. It's not an MGA. I said MGB originally, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Is it MGB? Is it a B?
No. I mean, you'll be so smart when you get it.
I'm sure that was a clue, and I don't understand it. Because it's not a smart car.
You're gonna be so mad.
I'm already mad because this eyebrow thing is getting me. I'm in my head. I'm like, there's a car that I know that you replace eyebrows, and I can't get there, and it's frustrating me.
I mean, 911s have a similar thing around the headlights.
And that's when you first said eyebrows, my brain went was 911.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a body color piece around the headlights.
Oh man, this is gonna be a failure for me, I think.
I mean, I had to pick a hard one. It didn't have a lot of information.
No, that's part of the problem too. I don't know what size engine it is, although it's probably a British Motor Corporation engine. It probably doesn't matter. It's probably the same engine that came in a Triumph and an MG.
Yeah, it's all the same. I don't know, whatever that corporate 4-cylinder was.
And for some reason,
tractors and tanks.
I can't even think of another British sports car brand other than TVR, but I can't think of a TVR that would have had wires and a 4-cylinder. Most of them are 6-cylinders. So, or V8s. But I'm going to be mad. So mad.
Jaguar. All right. Anytime.
Give me one more clue.
Let's see. Okay. It's how can I give you a clue for this without giving it all the way away?
Is it like an off brand? They don't make a lot of cars. They only made a couple of cars.
It would be a sports car only brand.
It's not Lotus though.
It's not Lotus. I mean, there's other British sports cars.
There's so many. Like, little companies like TVR, etc.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real narrow thing to walk in the daylight to figure it out.
I hate you so much. Oh, it's a Plank GT. No.
I think you
All
gotta
right,
call it here.
I'm going to call it.
All right. It is a 1961 Sunbeam
ACH. Oh, damn
Alpine Series 2.
It. Yep.
So I said you would be smart to get it.
Yeah, get smart. I got you. I'm not mad because that's pretty obscure,
It is.
and I didn't have much information.
No.
Not much at all.
If anybody got that, let us know, I guess. I mean, we don't know if you're lying, but I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you
guess
would.
it's on our loyalty, on your honor. Yeah, man, that's a rough one. Because I mean, he could have been like the 4-cylinder version of the car. Yeah, there's not a lot.
No, not without totally giving it away.
Yeah,
Because a Series 2, I think, would have given it away.
maybe
Although
not.
maybe that's how they just call British cars. They're like
Yeah,
series.
because there were all kinds of cars that had series. I wouldn't have given it away.
Oh,
It's
all
funny.
right.
It's right before you said it out loud, I said AC Ace, which is kind of the same formula. It's the
Yep.
4-cylinder version of the Cobra. That's the 4-cylinder version of the
Tiger.
V8 powered Tiger. So,
But that
I don't know.
was...
That's a bummer, man. I'm mad that I didn't get it, but also that was a tough one.
But the first Get Smart car was the Sunbeam. I don't think it was a Tiger, right? It was just a regular Sunbeam.
No, it was Tiger.
Oh, it was? Okay.
But the first Get Smart car was actually a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia.
Oh,
No,
right.
sorry. The first one was a Ferrari in the
Pilot.
In the Pilot. Then it switched to a Carmen Ghia, and then it went to the Tiger.
All right.
So, more dumb knowledge that I had until we can get it. All right, let me give you one more.
All right.
Because I have one more good one. All right, this is a blank with alarm system, sunroof, and 91,150 original miles. Third owner, purchased in 2006 with 48,000 miles. Clear title, 5-speed manual, rear-wheel drive. Current tags with emissions, does not leak fluids or smoke. Car runs and handles amazing, no joyrides. Brand new tires, Enki racing wheels, 15-inch front, 16-inch rear. Will include another identical set if interested. So I guess you could do 415s or 416s, which you should.
Yeah.
Silk Road fully adjustable coilovers. Full exhaust system with header and Bonez catalytic converter. Limited slip differential, fluidine radiator, Cusco strut bars, Cusco underbody chassis armbar, adjustable camber rod, K&N filter, autometer gauges, lightweight aluminum hood and light lids, rolled fenders, Euro-spec lights and turn signals, runs like new, does not leak fluids or smoke, every 3,000 miles or 6 months, oil change with Castrol 2050, Redline MTL or MT90 in the differential and transmission, changed every 2 years. NGK plugs, Prestone coolant, paint is factory, no AC. AC was never used, so removed. Water temps always remain low. Nothing else is about the car. Oh, those are fake bullet hole stickers in the rear. They peel off. PEAL off.
Okay.
Big things. Aluminum hood and light lids.
Yeah.
Rolled fenders. Euro spec lights and turn signals.
Second gen RX-7.
Ooh, that was good. Good call.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. First try.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. I don't know how, like, sometimes, like, I'm just like sitting here, you're like painting the picture of this car in my head,
Sure.
and that's what comes. That's what comes to me. That's what I
Yeah,
should have
no,
done with the
you're right.
Delica one. That's what came to me first, but I was like, no, that's too obvious that we would go
Yeah.
with the Mitsubishi. It
Well,
was a trick.
I said an easy one first, so it was an easy one.
Yeah.
No, this is interesting. It's weird that it has staggered size wheels. Doesn't really
I would
fit the
think
car.
width, not diameter.
Yeah, it's a. It looks kind of weird. It's a white FC coupe, in pretty clean condition, but the paint is peeling in a few places, and it has big bullet holes where the paint is peeling. I guess for effect. But it's kind of neat car. But it's a naturally aspirated car, and they want $14,900.
Whoa.
Yeah, it seems strong.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the couple things I skipped over. So I was talking about the camber rod. It's a Mazda Trix, and the limited differential is an S4 limited.
I think the
differential.
Silk Road coilovers is what got me.
See, I wouldn't have known that. I would have thought Japanese.
Yeah,
And
that's
I thought it was neat that it had Euro spec lights and turn signals. So I was like, oh, that might throw them for a loop because it's Euro spec. But anyway, yeah, it's strange. It's a 1990, and so it's not an S4, but it's got some S4 parts, and he wants S4 money. So I want one of these pretty badly. Like I have one, the convertible, but I want a coupe as like a daily.
they don't exist.
They're getting expensive. Yeah, they don't exist here either. Like
I know.
first gen RX-7s are everywhere. These don't exist. So,
Yeah, I don't know why. They didn't sell that well, or
I think they were too complicated for their third owner. That's kind of
probably.
what happened. Most of them got junked in the early 2000s.
Whereas like our first gen RX-7 is still pretty simple.
Simple,
Most people
yeah.
kept them running.
Yep.
Or they didn't get driven. They were like put away sports cars for the summer only.
Yeah, they were still, I guess, thought of as not refined enough for a daily, whereas the second gen was just used as a car. So I would like to replace the Eclipse with one of these, kind of a not everyday daily, but my regular used car, and they just don't exist. So anyway, Andrew, I think that's gonna do us tonight. I think it's an episode.
Sure is.
I will hang my head in defeat and go dump out this coffee and drink myself to sleep for getting it wrong.
Yeah.
So
All right. Go follow us on Instagram, Out of Topic. You can follow me on Instagram, Erase and Anger. Go follow our Scale Autocast and Parked on the Block on Instagram. And I'm also on Twitter at Race and Anger. We have Auto Off Topic on Twitter and Parked on the Block without the K. Also, just go cruise parkedontheblock.com when you have some time and sign up for emails because there's always posts going up. So,
yep, make comments, submit us cars to write about. There's a few of us writing articles, and we appreciate the input and the feedback. Negative or positive, doesn't matter. Give us the feedback, and we'll either listen to it or ignore it completely. But the only way to find out is to send it to us. So
come join our Discord.
Yep.
There's no sensitive documents being shared there.
No, none of us are going to jail for anything there.
Real quick.
You find a lot of the parked in the block cars there, though.
Yeah. But I give people credit.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
I do have a couple pedantic corrections.
Okay, go.
From my dad, he was saying that there is ways to test that coil.
Yes.
In the Crest, I just wasn't aware of it because I don't normally deal with coils. So we'll have to go back and have.
We can test the coil. I know how to test the coil. I've tested the coil, and the coil is good. It's testing the ignition module is the issue.
But he said there was a way to get it to spark, to throw a spark for you.
Through the module? All
No.
right. I have to call him anyway. I was talking to him the other day. I need to give him a phone call and chat about rebuilding small block Fords and apparently spark on Toyotas. So
he said there was a way to get just the coil to throw a spark for you to make sure it was working.
Yeah, I'm sure he could with some kind of exciter wire and, power through the power probe or something somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the way I know to test the coil, which I've done, is to ohm it out and make sure that it's got proper continuity across the terminals, which I've done. But anyway, if there's a way to make it work, I'm going to make it work. So I haven't even thought about that car, honestly. It's frustrating to me. I had to just kind of put the cover on it and just kind of go away for a little bit because of how frustrated I was. So I'll get back to that next week or so. So it's more projects to do.
Anyway, had that.
Get that. Go there. Discord. Yes.
Where can they find you?
Any more pandetic corrections?
Oh, apparently the dirt rally. I said Group A cars, but it's actually like Group B rear-wheel drive cars I picked for this final race that we're having.
I was all excited to run Group A cars.
Well, I think the next one I'll do Group A for like a bunch of different rallies.
Please, it's so much better. I'm actually okay in those. Yeah, they can find me on Instagram at TSISS350. I share at most of the things that you shared as well. And that's it. That's where you can find me.
All right. As always, keep your cars analog and name the roses.